to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head baseball coach Jacob Willett. Coach, how's it going this week?
It's good. Good.
A little windy outside today.
It is windy, that's for sure. It's going to be a chilly one tonight. A little cold, windy. Had rain this morning. Rain's moved out, so hopefully we can play some baseball today. We should be in good shape to play today, but it's going to be windy, that's for sure.
In a new location today in the, I guess, would you call this the coach's office?
It is the coach. It's my coach's office, yes. And right now it's our storage closet, it looks like, but yeah, it's our coach's office.
I always love doing it in new locations too. This is one of the, I think, 4th or 5th different locations we've done it in on your show too. So getting a new one in here today, I like the vibe. We'll have a good vibe here talking about 2 big wins over Happy Valley too. Let's just jump right into it. We talked about it on the tail end of last week's show. Win one, you split at the worst. Win both, you clinch the regular season district championship. You were able to do that with a doubleheader win over Happy Valley on Tuesday by the scores of 9-2 and 6-5. Had a little bit of a come-from-behind win in that 6-5 win to clinch sole possession of that regular season championship. How good of a day was it for your boys on Tuesday?
It was a huge day. It was a huge day for our guys. You mentioned on it there, we had the 6-5 win to open the day up.
Okay, so I had them flipped.
Yeah, it was flipped.
Okay.
The first game was a tight one. We trailed for the majority of that game, but we showed some real resiliency there to fight back and find a way to win that. We played a team there that came in and played some good ball. They played really well against us. Game 1, they applied pressure to us early. They came out, swung it well. They were making plays defensively. They played a good baseball game. I mean, either team could have won that baseball game, the first one. But it showed some real resiliency in our guys that we were able to battle back and come out victorious there. I know Gavin started and gave us a chance. And then I think Lincoln came in and shut the door at the end and got a save. But it was a stressful game that, we found a way somehow to win that one. It really felt like they had momentum, for the first 5 innings of that game. And then we come alive. Was it 6th inning maybe? We come alive. You got it pulled up.
Yeah, 6th inning, 3 runs in the bottom.
Yep, had 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th to really put us ahead and didn't look back. So proud of our guys for that win. Not all wins are made the same. That one we really had to grind for. They played an excellent baseball game.
Looking at the lineup, too, you had 7 hits that came from 7 different players. You had 6 runs that came from 6 different players, 4 RBIs that came from 4 different players. So everything was spread out, and the crazy part is your top 2 hitters were the only 2 without hits, so it was the 3 through 9 hitters who actually came up with the hits and gave you that opportunity to win.
That's positive to see. We'd like our top 2 guys to be some guys too, but the guys, and for the majority of the year, our top 2 guys have been our guys. That's been who's been on base, who's been hitting the baseball for us. But now, the Happy Valley game, everybody else had their back. They didn't have their best stuff. 3 through 9 picked them up, and we've been struggling offensively. Any kind of positivity we can get, whether it's a guy going 1 for 3 or whether it's a guy getting a bunt down, whether any kind of production at all we can get offensively right now, we will take it, because we've struggled mightily with the bats. The potential's there. Our guys are talented. We see it during BP, like it's there. We've got what it takes. Looking at our roster, we are probably as talented as anybody in 2A baseball as far as defensively and pitching goes. Pitching not as much so as defensively, but our pitching can compete. Our defense is as good as anybody's, truly. I would take our 9 guys on defense, and match them up with anybody in 2A. Name them. We played pitching forwards. I thought we were better defensively than pitching forwards. We haven't seen Alcoa. I'm sure they're up there, but any high-caliber 2A team, I feel like our defense is probably better. But on the flip side of that, our offense is poor. Like right now, and I'm not saying it's poor. We're just in a slump. Simple as that. It's not poor. We haven't hit the baseball. We've got the talent. We've got the guys to do it. It seems like we've got 9 guys in a slump. And, that's tough to win with. You got to be excellent defensively, and you've got to pitch it at a really high level just to even compete when you're in the slump that we're in right now. And we've done that. That's why we're above 500, is because we've played phenomenal defense and pitched it well. the offense has struggled. I think looking at our numbers from conference play, we're not near the bottom of our conference in runs scored, but my gosh, we're not at the top, And then you look at it on its head, you look at our conference in runs allowed, we've allowed the fewest, and it's not even close. Because our defense and our pitching, that's the only two reasons that we've been successful within our conference this year. Yes, we scored 9 in the second game, but it's been so sporadic. We get 0 runs, 9 runs, 2 runs. There's no consistency, and that's concerning when we're rolling into postseason because, I was looking at it today. A formula for winning a lot of baseball games in the postseason, like there's a couple of things that every state championship caliber baseball team does really well. There's a couple things. Every single one of them, doesn't matter who you look at. They pitch it really well. They've got 2 dominant arms at least. Every single one of them that make a state run. They have a phenomenal catcher, a phenomenal shortstop, phenomenal center fielder. Those are the 3 defensive positions that are locked down. You can guarantee it. Then they swing it. It's not even that they're hitting it for a high average. Their OBPs are 385 plus. It's not even that they come out and slug the ball around the yard. They find a way on base. They pitch it really well. They've got 3 really solid defensive positions that keep them in it, and then everybody else finds a way to get on base. We could do that. For sure we could. We've got all 3 of those things, at our grasp. But the offensive side right now is where we're the furthest away. Defensively, we're there. Pitching-wise, we could be there. Offensively, we're miles away right now. So that's the concerning part. But we showed some resilience with Happy Valley. We were able to scratch back, win the first. Then we come out. We play different baseball when Lincoln's on the mound. Lincoln took the mound for the second game.
Terrific.
I don't think we've rolled him out and lost a game yet. Because everybody in our dugout, when they see him take the mound, utter confidence. Just like that. We're not losing today. We're not losing this one. We might lose another one. We ain't losing today. That's been the attitude in our locker room when he rolls out to the mound. We're going to see that, whether it's tonight or Thursday. He's going to see a quality opponent this week. I don't know what game we're going to throw him yet. We're still working on details. He might close tonight, start later in the week, something like that. But it's different offensive production because we have a different pitcher on the mound. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's just the confidence that gets, passed around the dugout whenever, we see our guy take the mound. I mean, he's been dominant. So, therefore, our guys they play carefree. All we got to do is get them one. So, it's relaxed. And, therefore, it's a different approach completely.
Looking at that game, that second game against Happy Valley, we talked about how the first game, it was your 3 through 9 players in the lineup that produced all the hits. This time you had 10 total hits, and you actually got 4 of those from the top 2 in the lineup. Jake Kinkle and Kipton Ball had 2 each. Kipton had a great day. He was 2 of 3 at the plate with 3 runs, an RBI, and a walk. Then you had your 3 and 5 guys collect the rest of the hits with 3 each. That was Sauceman and C. And 4 RBIs from Sauceman also. So in the first Happy Valley game, it seemed like it was shared around and everybody shared the wealth. In this game, it seemed like you had those 4 dominant guys that really provided everything you needed to come out with that win.
That's what we've seen a lot this year, as the guys you just mentioned. I can't speak enough about how valuable of a baseball player Jake Kinkle is. He's our leadoff guy. I think he's like 10 stolen bases away from being top 10 all time in the state. How do you replace that? He's
hard.
A senior. He gets on base and he scores. He's on third in 2 pitches most of the time. And he finds a way on base. He's got one of our highest batting averages, if not our highest batting average, and probably our highest OBP on the year. So that kind of production is going to be hard to replace. I can't speak enough on how valuable he is to our lineup. He's a ton of our run production, him by himself. Now, a big reason why he's a ton of our run production is because the guy behind him can hit it really well too. Kipton's had a phenomenal year. I think Kipton has our highest average on the team right now. But he's a player, man. He's a freshman that stepped in, and he's playing third base and hitting 2-hole at the varsity level on a pretty good baseball team, I dare to say. Those guys have had big years for us, Kipton and Jake. And then Randall has came, he started the year 8-9 hole for us. He's moved into 3 hole nearly every game. He just finds a way to get the job done, whether it's a bunt, which probably sounds crazy considering he's our 3 hole, but he's also probably our best bunter. Or whether it's a hit and run, a slash. He executes our playbook. That's why we have him there. And because he executes our playbook, he has 4 RBIs on the day. So we've got a lot of production out of those, top 3 guys. And then behind him we had Cooper, right? Cooper C.
He was 3rd. Randall was 5th that game.
Okay, so we switched him and Randall around that
and
game.
it still worked either way. They both had 3 hits and had 3 and 4 or 2 and 4 RBIs. So either which way you had them in the lineup, I mean, solid production.
Solid production. And our 2 hole and our 3 hole in that game's freshman. So another freshman that's came in and made a huge impact. We expect Cooper to have a super bright career. He's young. He makes a lot of young mistakes sometimes, but he's ultra talented. The kid is going to be a player. He's still working. He's still improving every day. We got to work mentally with him and a little bit physically, but he's got the tools to be an excellent baseball player, and we expect him to be so. I mean, he's already stepped in and gave us offensive production like he did against Happy Valley. So 2 huge impacts as freshmen that can't be. Who knows where we'd be at without those 2 guys stepping up right away and being able to produce, because that's the meat of our lineup right there, 14-year-olds. So it's huge to get, it's huge. So we can move forward with them next year, and then the guys around them, like, we've got to be better. I've got a ton of juniors. We've got a ton of juniors in our program right now, and we feel like they're excellent players, phenomenal players. But they've struggled mightily. We've struggled because of it too. If we could get production out of our juniors and to match our freshmen and our seniors right now, we would go places. And they have the talent to do it. I can't say enough. They have the talent. It's there. We've just got to relax in the box. Baseball's a weird game. A very, very weird game. It's 90% mental, probably 10% talent. The 90% is the biggest part, and that's the part you can't practice. You can go swing it in the cage. You can have your swing fundamentally sound. We've got a kid that's probably got one of the best swings around here, and he's hitting 0.95 in non-conference play. I was looking at it the other day because it blew my mind. Because he's in a massive slump. You watch him take BP, and you're like, this guy's got to be your 3-hole. It should be, but he's just in a massive slump. So it's just like, how do you pull a guy out of it? And then as the player, I've been there. As the player, you go 0 for 3. Next game you go 0 for 4, and you're like, man, I have got to get a hit. Maybe I got to have a big swing here to show I'm worth it, to prove to the guys around me like I belong here. It's so demoralizing as a player when you go up and you fail over and over and over again. There's nothing harder to do. That's why baseball is such a romantic game, really, because it just takes that one swing to ignite a kid's season. And we need a lot of guys right now to have that one swing. But it's so frustrating because I know there's nobody else in this world that wants it as bad as they do. Yet we walk in the box over and over again and pressing the issue. It's like, I have got to make a big swing here. I have to. I got to prove my worth. And then we take a big swing and get blown up with fastball. Strike out again. Next at bat, okay, I got to get a hit here. I'm pressing so much that I fell again. At some point, there's got to be a deep breath, and I got to go into the box saying, okay, I've struck out my last 2 or 3 at bats. Why don't I just go in here and try to hit a ground ball? Something small. Show I can get the barrel to it. At some point, we've got to make the mental switch to say, I don't have to be a hero. I can just go do a job. Simple. Do my part. Let the guy behind me do his part. I don't have to be the hero. If we've got guys taking selfless at bats, taking smaller swings, not getting so lost in the moment in their approach, we can start pulling a little more out of these guys. I think mentally right now, it's not even that we're not talented offensively, because we very much so are. It's that we're not in a very good place mentally on the offensive side. And we're just waiting for the one game where it clicks. It just takes one. But by gosh, it's got to happen in the next 2 weeks, because once it gets rolling, we'll start playing baseball. It's there. We've got the talent. We've got the ability. We just need to get the mentals down.
And you've got a stretch here that's perfect for it because after the Happy Valley games, we'll talk about Coalfield in just a second, part of the Buddy Hawk Classic. And then looking forward in the second half, you got Morristown, East Westridge, Sullivan, East North Green. You've got a stretch of games right here that you could argue are teams better than your conference teams that you'll see in the postseason also. It's a great time for them to kind of get going into that. But before we get to talking about that, one more time, I want to talk about the district this year. You're finished with it now. You finished 9-1. You're regular season champions. Give me an overview on the district season and how happy you were with how you completed your regular season district schedule this year.
Ecstatic about, the way it finished. 9-1's a pretty good year.
And we talked about it last week, an improvement from 8-2 last year.
An improvement. We feel like we choked away 10-0 though. Because we had the 3-0 lead in the first. Didn't have another hit. That can't happen. We lose 4-3 in the ninth inning. It's frustrating. But also, we're very fortunate because we had a lot of close games in conference play. Probably a lot due to our own mistakes. And moving forward, when the tournament rolls around, we're fortunate enough we get to play at home. That's big time. We haven't lost a lot of games at home. I mean, we lost the one to West Green here, which was very discouraging. But other than that, we haven't lost any conference games at home. We haven't lost on the road, and that's crazy. But the one game we lost was here. But we were fortunate enough we get to play at home. Anybody can beat us if we beat ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. If we are in a good place mentally, we handle the baseball, we throw strikes, we won't lose. But if we fail to do that, any single team that we play can beat us. So any night we can lose. Any night in the tournament. It doesn't matter if we're playing the 2 seed or the 6 seed. We can get beat. So that's why we have got to play our style of baseball every night. I'm super proud of our guys for doing that for 9 games. Well, we didn't do it for 9 games. We did it for 6, really. And, we lucked out with 3 wins when we probably didn't deserve them. But we played, 6 really good conference games and then 3 not so much. And then 1, we just didn't play after the first inning. I think we went home. But I'm proud of our guys for competing, and winning 9 games. But they expect 10. I expect 10. Happy for them. We're not finished and we're not satisfied with that, because at the end of the day, the only thing that we won is the number 1 seed in the postseason. So now the postseason comes around and that's our season. You know, everything you do in the regular season is to put you in a position to win come May. So we've achieved nothing yet. Regular season championship, you don't get a plaque for that one. You get a plaque for winning your district in the postseason. So we haven't accomplished anything yet, but I'm proud of where we're at and the position we've put ourselves in to go and accomplish our goals that we have.
Last thing to talk about on the first half of this edition also, you had the Buddy Hawk Classic this weekend where you hope to host, you hope to play more than just the one game you got to play, but this year the weather just didn't cooperate. You were only able to play 1 out at West Green at the Buddy, and it was against Coalfield. Took a 10-0 defeat to the Yellow Jackets. Saw a pretty good team. I believe they're still ranked number 2 in Class 1A. So tell me what your thoughts were on the Coalfield game that you competed in Saturday.
We didn't hit the baseball. They did. I mean, we had 1 hit through 5 innings. I don't think I've ever seen a team win with 1 hit through 5 innings unless it was a solo home run and they threw a shutout. But we didn't throw a shutout, and we didn't hit the baseball. And it's the same thing we've been talking about. I don't, did we make an error in that game? Maybe 1.
0 errors.
0 errors. We played clean defense. I mean, we didn't pitch it bad either. I'm not going to get started. Our pitch calling was terrible. And I'll take responsibility for that. We served them up some cupcakes that they hit a long way. They swung it well, though. I mean, you get a middle fastball, you better not miss it, and they didn't miss it. I don't think any. There was a lot of balls. I thought they were going to knock West Green's fence down out there with the amount of balls they hit off the fence. And then hit a 3-run home run. So it is what it is. We didn't hit the baseball. I don't feel like that. I feel like we're better than them defensively. I feel like we're better than them on the mound even. I feel like they hit the baseball we didn't. And that's a huge difference, in winning baseball and not winning baseball, because you can't score or you can't win if you can't score. So I like the group of guys we got. I think, I would take them over anybody. We get the bats rolling, we put up, we score and we produce offensively. We didn't get a bunt down. We didn't get a hit. Our one hit that we had through 5 innings was a cap shot up the middle. It wasn't even like we squared anything up. There was no hard hit balls that game. So it is what it is. They're a good baseball team, and you don't hit. When you play a good team, you don't win.
Yeah, looking at the top of their lineup, too, their 1 through 4 guys had 10 hits in 2 games. That's a pretty good top of the lineup, and it's hard to avoid that.
For sure. They're a good team. They're solid. They'll go deep into the postseason in 1A. There's no doubt about that. It should be interested to see. Then are they in universities or sub-state?
Usually it ends up being Coalfield and North Green, because usually it's Coalfield and University High who win those regions and host those sub-states. And it's usually North Green that has to travel to Coalfield. So they're very familiar with it. I know North Green traveled down there 2 years ago and played Coalfield and didn't get the job done then, but it's usually their biggest enemy once it comes sub-state time. They usually meet up.
You never know. Hopefully North Green will go win their district in their region, and being a local school, we cheer for those guys. We want them to be successful. So best of luck to them, and hopefully they can make a deep run. But you don't want to see them. They're good.
They are.
They can play. But anybody can be beat on any given day. It's like us in our conference. We should have lost to Hampton, who finished 6th in our conference. They should have beat us. Truly, we came back and won late. But any given day, baseball is a really fun game, because it doesn't matter if you've got 10 Division I commits or a team that has 0 commits to anywhere. You can be beat on any given day if you touch the plate more times than the other team does, by any means necessary. So they're beatable for sure. Don't throw them a lot of fastballs. They can hit. That's for sure.
You got the best time to get things right going into the postseason, also with a tough stretch of games ahead. Before we talk about them too much, though, as always, need to get a word in from our sponsors first and get a break in. So we'll be right back in just a minute to preview that 4-game stretch here on Grassroots Media.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
At Terry's Flooring, we have quality products along with quality installers that can make your space look better than ever before. The craftsmanship that our installers bring to the job site is unmatched. Along with the great installers, we have a huge selection of hardwood, LVP, tile, and carpet. We know that spending money isn't that easy, but at Terry's Flooring, we care about your money too. Stop on in and see my Popsy at Terry's Flooring and allow him to save you money while enjoying the hassle-free experience.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with Chuckey-Doak head coach Jacob Willett. So you got a big test ahead of you.
Oh, yeah.
Not just one big one. You've got 4 big tests ahead of you. You've got Morristown East today, Tuesday at 5:30. Westridge Thursday at 5:30, both at home. You get on the bus and travel to Sullivan East Friday at 5:30 for a game against the Patriots. And then turning it over to next week, you travel just across the county to play at North Green Monday at 5 o'clock. So 4 pretty big games ahead of you. Mm-hmm. 4 pretty good opponents. Talk to me about each one of them and what you can expect.
We got Cott County after that, too, who beat us.
That's 5. There we go,
yeah. We got Morristown East. We don't know a whole lot about them. We haven't seen them this year. We were supposed to scrimmage them preseason. We didn't. Rain prevented us from doing that. We show up, we play good ball, we'll probably win. If we don't, we'll probably lose. It's as simple as I can really put it. Even if we play good ball and lose, even if we go 0-4 this week and we swing it well, we make 0 errors and we throw strikes, I'm okay with that because that translates well to postseason.
Yeah. And like you said, as long as you can just get things right going into April or going into May, that's all you want to do.
All losses are not made the same, and I mean we don't expect to lose this week. I never go into a game, expecting to lose. I expect us to go 3-0 this week. It's tough opponents. The biggest thing I want us to do is play clean baseball and get some stuff cleaned up before the end of next week, so we can roll into the postseason with a good stability and a good head on our shoulders. Because last year, we got to this point where we were at here last year. I think we had a better record overall, not conference wise, but overall we had a better record. We were playing extremely good baseball, and then right now is when we cooled off. It seems like this team's the opposite. We're pretty cool right now. We need to get hot here for the next 2 weeks. And we've got a good opportunity to do this. Morristown East, we got them here tonight. Westridge, Thursday, is a heck of a baseball team. They played. That's probably, that and the Coalfield games, the two hardest we've got hit all year. Even when we played Lakeway, who was top 25 in the state, Coalfield and Westridge probably swung it better than Lakeway. Westridge went gap to gap on us the first time we played them, and I think they scored 10 runs in run rule. We were in a 1-2 run game, scored 8 or 9 straight to run rule us in one inning without recording out.
Wow.
And it was no errors. It was just straight doubles. Double, 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 double. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. We threw breaker, we threw changeup. It didn't matter what we threw.
Gaps.
It was getting hammered. It wasn't like a bloop shot. It was sent to a gap. So that's it. But that's a game, we feel like we take that one inning away. We're right there. It's a toss-up. Didn't swing it particularly well against Westridge. I mean, hopefully we can. And that's been the theme of the season, right? We've played solid. We just haven't hit. When we've hit, we've won. And hopefully we can do that, I would like to, Westridge, that's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a really fun game for our guys. Come out Thursday. That'll be a good one to watch. Looked like good weather, too, if I'm not mistaken. And then Friday, we go Good Friday to Sullivan East. That game got moved to 1 o'clock, so it's a 1 o'clock start at Sullivan East. I need to get that announced, too. I just talked to their coach today, and we changed that around to 1 o'clock. But, yeah, we're trying to get that in earlier since there's no school and trying to get it in the middle of the day. But, yeah, Good Friday. We can have us a Good Friday on the baseball field as well. Come swing it. Sullivan East is another quality opponent. We scrimmaged them preseason. They're good. They're really good. So are we. So we'll see what happens.
And then going into North Green next week also. It's always fun playing county opponents like that. Luckily, you don't have to travel too far when you do have to travel. It's team and coaches that you're familiar with. The players are familiar with each other too. How excited are you to go over to North Green and play them Monday?
Really excited, from myself and Jamie's first time playing against each other since he's taken over. He's a lot like me. It's his first year. It's my second. I loved Lowe when he was there. He was a great dude. I love coaching against Lowe. That was always fun too. You never knew what you're going to hear from Lowe. Yeah. He was a fun guy to be around.
He's a Tim Lady product.
He was. So was a lot of stuff that we do here, though.
Yeah.
He left his marks on our program, and we're forever thankful for what Tim did. He had a ton of, probably the most successful coach in this program's history, I would dare say, if not the most, one of the most. I don't know. We'll have to go back in the records and look at it, but there's a lot of success that's come from that man, and we're grateful here for the mark that he's left. But yeah, North Green, it'll be exciting. We saw them a little earlier in the year in a scrimmage, and they didn't have all their basketball guys back, so we'll see how they look differently now. But congratulations to Jamie, man. He's had a ton of success this year in his first season. It's really fun to watch. Like I said earlier, we cheer for North Green. They're not two-way, and they're not in our, and they're in our county, so we'll pull for them.
Only school you pull for in the county?
Maybe.
Plead the fifth.
Yeah, it is. I'll say it.
I think that's all we've got, though. 4 games coming up that we previewed. 4 really tough opponents, 4 quality games that you'll compete in, and hopefully compete into the highest level of your possibilities. Coach, I believe that's all I got for you, unless there's anything you want to add.
No, just this week, we talked with our guys about it yesterday, and, hopefully if they're watching, this will be some reinforcement. We play good baseball teams. There's no need to look over into the other dugout and say, yeah, it's a good team. No, we're a good team. They look over and say the same thing about us. At some point, we've got to take that belief and take the next step mentally as a program. because there's a lot of teams that say that about us, and we can't give the opponents too much credit. They're a good baseball team. So what? So are we. Let's go and execute this week. It'll be a fun one.
All right, let's come in here next week, talk about some quality wins over some quality opponents. But that's all I got for you this week, Coach. Once again, thank you for letting me join you here in the office. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Terriers Flooring Jacob Willett Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.